What's going on, everyone? It is Bavery and Lamont Tyson downstairs. We are talking at it. Welcome to Derry. This is episode 4, titled 21 Neil Boat Street, I believe, because we don't have it right here. Talking spoilers. Oh, Lamont. Oh, Lamont. Oh, Lamont. My
Mhm.
goodness gracious, my brother. Episode 4 was a doozy.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to take a break watching this. It was just too much, man. This series, this episode, in my opinion, is making the original 85 film, the 2017 sequel, and 2019 sequel that came after that, feel like that was PG-13 because the gore, the torture, the carnage in this episode was diabolical. I'm so sorry, Marsh. Um, Lamont, I've seen this episode. I couldn't watch it, man. At that point, I was screaming, I was squirming. I had to take a break, and
Mhm.
there's still more to talk about. But damn it, I thought episode 2 was a lot, but this right here made me grow an extra body part. Lamont, how did you feel about episode 4 of Welcome to Derry? Let us know, sir. Let us know.
Well, for your sake, Bieri, I hope the body part you grew is a good one, a productive body part that you
Yeah.
can use for multiple purposes, man. I enjoyed the episode. It picked up where I felt like the previous episode fell off.
Mm.
It had everything you said. It had gore. It also had something that made me feel satisfied. We got the origin story of how this entity got here, and that made me feel good. And there was questions me and you had about episode 3 about the creature and its range being stuck in the woods, and we got answers about that. So I really enjoyed the episode, and I can't wait to see where we're going to go from here.
Right on, right on, right on. I really did enjoy the episode 2. This was better than episode 3, in my opinion. And again, not to say that episode 4, episode 3 was trash or garbage. It just wasn't my favorite up until that point. But this episode right here, I thoroughly did enjoy. And I really do like the characters, man. I'm fond of, well, except for Marge, to be honest with you. But I'm fond of all of them, even Rich, even though Rich is annoying to me, I still like him. I know Will is over here like, why in the world did I agree to develop this girl's photos? You know what I'm saying? I could have just been chilling in elementary, no, in high school, doing my thing. But no, he's caught up in this mess, man, and seeing things. And I feel sorry for him. While I did enjoy this episode, though, Lamont, I still have some nitpicks. Like you said, we do get a lot of information towards the end. I'm not
Mhm.
really fond of the delivery. And you
Hmm.
know me over here, man. Charlotte, I like Charlotte, but the whole, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but the whole racial element, MLK, Malcolm X, I didn't need it. I didn't need it. Usually something like that, I can be like, hell yeah, come through. But I was just like, oh, okay, this is another subplot right here. The representation was great, but it was just kind of off to me. Am I tripping, or do you agree with that at least?
No, I think that the reason why she did that was to give people a real life estimation of what you had to do in the Jim Crow South in order to throw your weight around. And back then, when we didn't have cameras so that you could record everything to get people to see it, when someone accosted you that was white, you had to call on the sources of media that would out them and put them on blast. And that's just basically what she was saying she was doing. She was going to call the Rainbow Coalition. She's going to call MLK. She could call Kennedy too. And that was how she was able to throw her weight around it. And I think that the way they tried to set it up, she's basically a freedom fighter from the South, and now she's up north. And this is what she did. She's an activist. And they wanted to sprinkle that into the story to tie it together of what was going on with dad. And I think what was going on with dad was a tie together of what happened with Emmett Till, except for what happened to Emmett Till didn't really happen, but what happened with dad did happen. And we'll get there in a minute. You're on mute, my brother.
Oh, appreciate it. You said that with your chest. You're on mute, my brother. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. But I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on mute. But no, we can stay there if you want to. I mean, that's cool with me. And let's just go back to the origin. Well, no, not the origin. We can go forward just a little bit. She's running up in the jail, makes a lot
Yeah.
of noise, and gets to sit there with Ronnie's dad.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Hey, bro, I'm on your side, but you wasn't where you said you were. Okay, now they string you up for killing these kids and eating them and throwing them around and blood everywhere. What were you doing?" This dude was not only with a married woman, but a white married woman. My, you gotta stay away. You gotta stay away. Cause he was like, he's not gonna go to Shawshank. He is just gonna be hung from the closest tree. And I believe him, unfortunately, Lamont. I do. I do. What's gonna happen, man? Is Charlotte gonna be able to, free him and she gonna file the paperwork and your thoughts on him being with the white woman and all of that? What Granny gonna say? What is Ronnie gonna say? Where you at? Where you at?
Man, I feel bad for him. He's caught in a very bad predicament, my brother, because back in those days, it didn't matter where you was at in the United States. If they caught you messing around with a white woman, that was it for you if you was a nigger. And the sad thing is, I've always told people oftentimes what Anglo Saxons in that ilk do, they project. And the reason why they act like they have such an attitude with black men messing with their women is because secretly they have fetishes for our women and want to get in our women and do what they want to do with our women. So when they find out that a black guy is accosting their women, they really catch an attitude. Now, what I want to know is what woman was it, and does she have a significance to the story? And I do think Charlotte is going to be able to help him. Like she said, she's going to get him out. But he's going to have to spend a day or two in Shawshank, and I'm assuming they're talking about Shawshank like Shawshank Redemption, the movie.
Mhm.
And I'm just wondering how is it going to be for him when he comes clean that he was with a white woman, because he's going to have to come clean with that or else. Now,
Does he have
coming clean,
wait, does he have to come clean?
He's got he's gonna have to come clean because the only person that can verify where he was at is that white woman. And that is if she's willing to verify he was there.
Right.
Because
Maybe somebody else would be willing to say he's somewhere else and it could just be a lie. I mean, I'm just asking.
you could try that if you want to, because for all we know, the white woman might lie and say,
Mhm.
"No, he wasn't here with me," and then we back into this vicious circle again. But I feel for them, and I'm interested to see where they're going to take that aspect of this story at, because this is true, folks.
Yeah.
During that era, if you was messing around with white women, you could get hung. I mean, look at Emmett Till. They lied and said he whistled out a white woman, and then they killed him.
That's
So
tough.
think about what happens when you admit that you put your 12-inch black anaconda in a white woman,
12
and
inch.
then they get to thinking about that. They
Right on.
really gonna get you.
They're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. Yeah, what's gonna happen to Ronnie's dad, man? We gotta know. We gotta find out. We need justice. He wasn't there. He didn't do nothing wrong. This
Mhm.
this this really, really does suck. But Lamont, I like the way the episode started. The kids are on the bike, kind of, just feels like they're on this endless adventure. ET. They go to the police station. We got the proof. We got the pictures. It's going down. We ain't crazy. I'm not going back to Jupiter Hill. You know what I'm saying? Where is the prize money? But they don't have no pictures. They got a blurry photo of some bird poop and some statue and a silhouette of a clown. And Rich was really getting on my nerve right here. But we got that right there. I forgot if it was Lily or Ronnie. I think it was Lily that raised her voice. Oh, man was like, "Hey, watch your tone, young lady. You're gonna get a ticket back to Juniper Hill." However, Lamont, and this kind of confused me. Maybe you can help me out.
Mhm.
When we all got back home, Charlotte, his mama, confronted him and said, "Hey, I found these pictures buried in the back of the drawer. What is going on, Will?" And he, let her know that something's going on in Derry. What the hell happened there? Before they got to the police station, did he take the real photos out and hide them in his drawer? or did his mom take the photos out of the envelope? But that wouldn't make sense because she would have took all the photos, and because they still have some of the police station. What am I missing here?
I don't think you're missing anything. I think that he did. I think they probably had multiple of the same photos that they showed the cops, and he wanted to keep a copy for himself at his house just in case something happened to the other copy. What
Okay.
I was trying to figure out, B. Avery, was did they actually get these spooks on film, and
Right.
then somehow with their magical energy, they were able to disappear off the film,
Yeah.
and you still had the silhouette of the clown because apparently maybe he ain't got enough energy to take that off. But what was really getting on my nerves was the energy from the damn police officers. I mean, that one sheriff, that police chief, he's an asshole, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
definitely,
Straight
definitely.
straight up asshole, telling the kids to sit their butts down and leave the police work to them. Well, the kids see right through you, you racist piece of crap. If you was doing real police work, Ronnie's dad would not be in jail and you would not be coercing little children that don't have lawyers at their side and their parents not present, which is how Ronnie is about to get out of jail because you didn't give him just process, due process in the first place. So, no, I want to see Chief, whatever his name is, get got by the ghost and the clown.
Get got by the ghost and the clown. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I ain't mad at that at all. I think in the last recap we did, we was talking about the handmaiden or the lady at the at Juniper Hill that
Mhm.
Lily befriended. You know, buddy, buddy, pow, pow. But their meet up today at a diner, and she has some nice kind words for her, and just talking about family and it's who you choose and your friends, and it's about the journey and all of that stuff. You still trust her?
No, no. I like this woman, but they're setting her up too clearly to be someone that we adore, and then she's gonna hit us with the banana in the tailpipe. No, I don't trust her. Lily went to her because Lily knows her own mama won't trust her story. And she wanted to get some backup as to what was happening in this community in prior years. Shout out to Will, who I told you is going to use his scientific intelligence to start figuring stuff out. And Will is having to do everything for these four Stranger Things going it via Derry. He's having to do everything. And he come up with the plan, let's get a history of what's going on. So she go to this woman to get a history, and this woman didn't really have a whole lot to give her other than to tell her what everybody else is saying. This can be a weird town. Didn't have a lot to give her. But I don't trust her behavior. Nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, there's something awry going on with her, man. She has something up her sleeve. Definitely some banana in the tailpipe energy. So
Hmm.
she can't be trusted. She can't. I do like the upgrade though that Holloran and his homies got.
Oh
It
yeah.
it was a mess, man, but they can really make something out of that, but we can come back to it. Rose, how you feeling about Rose, man? She popping up, but hey, I got your furniture. You wanted to fill up your crib, you making coffee. Just want to let you know, Darius, something's going on over here. Being real vague, you know.
Mhm.
Find out what happens at the end of the episode. But where you at with Rogue, man? She's very, very, very secretive, while she's sipping this coffee.
Well, she came over there to be nosy. You notice how she asked Charlotte, "What is your husband doing? Is their digging project coming to a conclusion? What are they digging for? All that stuff." And Charlotte didn't have no answers. And I get a genuine feel that Rose cares about Charlotte for real, but Rose doesn't want to implicate her in what's going on, nor does she want to run the risk of Rose telling the husband what's really going on. That kind of put a sour taste in my mouth with Rose because
Wait, wait,
Rose knows
wait,
good.
wait, 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 wait. You said Rose telling the husband?
Yeah, yeah. Rose might be afraid that if she comes clean to Charlotte about everything that's going on, Charlotte might tell her husband about what's going on, and then he might go run to the military, and he might decide he don't want to do nothing. It could be a big mess. It could be a big mess. But my issue with Rose is Rose knows everything. B. Avery.
Yeah.
Rose knows, and and I get why she didn't per se say anything, but at the same time, she clearly cares a little bit about Charlotte. So enough to give her her phone number and say, "Call me anytime you have questions," and to tell her that it's a strange city. Why not just say, "Look, I can tell you what's going on, but you gotta promise me you're gonna tell your husband not to say a thing, and you will wait for these things
Uh,
to come to light."
Imma come back to that, but something you said, I don't think that Charlotte would go tell her husband
What? You don't
because
think?
they're keeping secrets from each other. Mind you, Charlotte did not tell her husband at the table about the situation with Will and, the photos. She was like, "There is a girl."
Mhm.
And also Hanlon, he didn't tell the wife about the incident at the water and when they was fishing.
Nope.
Now he's secretive anyway, because of his job. I'm in the Air Force. I can't tell you nothing and, blah, whatever. But, that's kinda interesting right there. I don't know if you noticed that, but apparently you did. Now going back to the questions you asked about Rose, actually, what can you rephrase it again one more time? I'm sorry.
Basically, I was saying I'm frustrated with Rose. I understand why she's not telling, but at the same time, I feel like she should have told Charlotte what's going on because she's
Yeah.
giving her phone number to her and trying to basically showing that she does care to some degree.
Mhm. I think Rose is gonna die.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do too.
I
And as bad as I hate to say it, be Avery, Hanlow's gonna die too. Sorry.
Nah, man, he gonna live, man.
He's dead.
He's gonna make it out of there.
He's
He
gonna burn up in the airplane just like the sun seen it. That figure that was trying to drag him under the water, that's what's gonna happen to him.
Yeah, that was quite awful. I'm glad you brought that up because that's where I wanted to take it right now. First, before we even get there, I really like the line of dialogue where Will said, "Dad, how long do we have to do this?"
Yeah.
Because he just wasn't feeling that moment right there, and that was genuine.
Yeah.
Dad is just trying to have a father-son moment, and Will just wasn't feeling it, and, he wasn't afraid. He was bold enough to just be like, "Man, can we get out of here? I wanna go play with Legos," or I don't think Legos was out at this time, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Um, it was foreshadowed that something was gonna happen. He's like, "Hey, I
Mhm.
left something in the car," but I still do like that, what I just described. I thought that was pretty cool. But man, they didn't waste any time. They didn't waste any time. I like the imagery of showing the dead body burnt up, from him going down in the plane from Korea, and the showing that the marks are on the arm. I like how the father was screaming at him, Hanlon, "What's wrong with you? You're not making sense. Calm down." And he notices the bruises, and then just the look on their faces when they both see that red balloon, like out of nowhere, a red balloon, like, "Dad, there's something going on in Derry." And his dad believed him. That was the father son bonding moment right there, that his dad believed him and didn't just write him off. I loved it.
Mhm.
How did you feel about it?
Loved it. Loved it. I loved it too. And I like how the writers showed that dad can believe what his son is saying because their relationship is not the tightest in the first place. And for him to see those marks on his
Right.
arm and that red balloon, it just signified to dad that this town has got some shit going on with it. And I'm gonna have to become closer with my son to protect him and my family. And we've got to figure out what's going on because whatever the military is trying to do here, is now affecting my household and we've got to make a plan for it. And from that point forward, you felt like Will and the four children had someone, an adult who's a power figure that can help them out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like what Hanlon did right after that, man. Actually,
Yeah.
going back, I like the slow mo of him dropping the tools on the ground and showing his feet chopped back in the water. That's what's up right there. But what does Hanlon do? He goes to Halloran. And he's like, "Hey,
Mhm.
bro, what's going on, man? What's up?" He's like, "Brother to brother, I wouldn't be so eager to put yourself on the front line. Like I just do what I'm told." Man, he told him what happened. What is it? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I want to know. I'm just do what I told, man. That's that's crazy. I like the interaction. At one point, Hanlon didn't know if he can trust Halloran. He probably still doesn't know if he can right now. Um, besides that, they do got the new clubhouse and they're cleaning it up right now. But you said that Rose should have gave more information. Do you think that Halloran should have, or he, told all that he could?
He needs to give more information too. I mean, you've got to. First of all, it's your brother. It's your black brother. And y'all are being ordered around by white men. And as we saw at the end of this episode, when white people get something in their head, when they're warned not to do it, they still do it, and then they get fucked in the ass, and then they take down the natives or the minorities along with it. So yeah, he should tell his brother what's going on and trust that his brother can handle it, and they can form a pack and get through this thing together. But I still have issues with Holleran B. Avery because Holleran, I don't know if we can trust him. B, I don't know if we can like how does he have these special gifts? How did he get these special gifts? And has he made a pact with one of the evil spirits? How does he get these special gifts? We need to know.
I won't go that far to say that he made a pact with the devil, the what was it called, the Bule, or we gonna get
The
to it.
Golo.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I want to trust him. I think we can so far.
Mhm.
He's coming off different, because he's a psychic. So
That's
I
true.
would go ahead.
Can I shout out Will one more time
Of course.
for I want to shout out Will and the writers for displaying that black nerds are the coolest people on planet Earth because Will figured out what's driving these entities is fear. He
Mhm.
figured out, he gave a grand talk about how when you're scared, it drives up cortisol and adrenaline, and that these things feed off of it. And then when they gave us the full story on the back end, we learned that these things do actually feed off fear. And so we, like I said, BA, Will is going to be the one that's going to crack this case and save the city, and he's already doing it right now. So shout out to the writers and the way you wrote Will as a cool ass black nerd, and he's unapologetic about it.
Yes, Lamont, but he's causing the kids to do drugs. Okay. Lily goes home and starts getting her mom's, I don't know what kind of pills they were. Well, if you had to
Yeah,
get, I'm teasing, but if you had to guess, what type of medication did she go say, hey, just put this under your tongue and it'll calm us down? And
yeah.
I was also laughing at Rich because he was like, I don't want to imagine that that's true, but Ronnie was like, bro, we don't got a choice. Anyway, what kind of drugs are those?
Those are probably SSRIs, or basically mood augmenting pills that reduce the adrenal response, reduce the cortisol response, so that normally in today's society, when you used to have kids that were bad, you give them Ritalin to calm their asses down. It is some kind of drug of that effect. And I wouldn't say that he's drugging the kids. I would say that he's what he figured out is helping them, because if they can be in the presence of this entity and they're not afraid, maybe they can take this entity down because he feeds off fear. And
Mm.
what Will has done is have them get prepared to go to battle with the proper equipment, which is something that prevents them from being scared.
Y'all let us know what you think. Will is OG, and he's only like 12 years old or 10 years old.
Right.
Yeah, Lamont, I want to see if you noticed something, sir. There
Uh-oh.
was a scene in the classroom where the lights were out. There was a projector going on, and the teacher was talking about worms and all 20,000 species and showing the snails. Did you catch the significance of this scene right here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
What were they showing up on the screen with the animals, if you don't mind me asking?
It was some kind of a tapeworm or worm or microscopic parasitic worm is what they were showing, and it invades the bodies of snails, and it starts to leech on and be what a parasite does, and take resources from the host, and it does that to a point where it grows so much that it pops out of the eyeballs
Yes, a pause
of
right there. Yes.
okay.
Pause right
Okay.
there. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Lamont, I don't like bullies. They suck. It will never be in my blood to bully someone. There needs to be justice.
Mhm.
Marge is so obsessed with being a part of the patty cake gang that she is willing to throw her so-called friend under the bus just so she can get, some validation. So what does she do, Lamont? She goes through a coup to make Lily think that a boy has. I mean, this is an elaborate plan. This is some Ocean's 11, 12 type stuff right here. We're gonna make her
Mhm.
think that you like him. She's gonna go into the bathroom and she's gonna get, to freshen up and he's gonna get embarrassed. But before we can get there, man, Marge had a change of heart,
Yeah.
but it was too late.
Oh.
It was too late.
Oh.
Again, like we started at the very beginning of this episode, Lamont, this was probably one of the worst, most horrific, gruesome scenes of horror that I've personally ever seen. And I wear glasses too, so I think it affected me a bit more. Where are you at, sir, on this? I mean, God, and tied into the classroom presentation as well. I take the pause button away and press play so you can continue on that, sir. But where are you at on this travesty?
I thought it was for storytelling and something that you don't often see in TV or movie. I thought it was extremely creative. I loved how they gave the parallel with the parasite and what it actually does. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are nerds like me, if it was a legitimate tapeworm, tapeworms get in people's bodies and no matter how much they eat, they steal the resources to the point where you just eat so much that you bust out your body because of the tapeworm, and the tapeworm grows to be like 50 feet in your intestines. And they took that type of play on parasites and did it in her eyes. And I thought it was extremely creative. And the whole time, B. Avery, I'm wondering, was this real or was it an illusion? And it got so bad that she didn't feel like chucking her eyeballs out with an ice pick. She wanted to go over there to the daggone saw and do it. And then in the very end, B. Avery, when she fell to the ground and they saw Lily with that ice pick, of course, you know what the class is thinking. And I'm just wondering how this is going to go down for Lily.
Yeah, man. And Lily dropped the damn drugs in the toilet. Oh, um, they actually showed her sewing her ass off, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
what if
yeah.
Look, Lily is I'm not Lily. Marsh is still alive
Hmm.
because we saw how the scene ended, and I also saw the aftermath in one of the trailers, the Red Band trailer.
Oh,
So I see what happens after this. So I think that Lily is gonna get off. And
okay,
just like, it wasn't Lily that because Marge is still somewhat sound in mind, so I think she can, be like, "No, it wasn't Lily, she was trying to help." Uh,
okay, okay.
and I mean, of course, it looks bad, definitely feels bad, but whew, I guess that's what you get, man, for trying to throw your friend under the bus and embarrass her in front of the whole school. You get your eyes poked out to where you wanna saw them off. Oh my god.
But
Was
B, you don't give Marge credit because I was cussing Marge out too. I was like, no, you didn't. Just throw your friend under the bus. And then when Marge finally broke down in the bathroom, I actually felt good for. I was like, okay, now that's how you do it, Marge. You thought about it. It wasn't too late to get out of it. I was giving her big points for that. But before she could get it out of her mouth, her eyes started looking like Ron Jeremy's penis coming out of both of her eyeballs. And it was nothing she could do about it. And it was not an illusion, BA, because I'm thinking this is an illusion. It wasn't an illusion.
yeah.
So, what I want to know is how does this creature have this much power over some people, but not over everybody that's afraid of him? Because, I mean, technically, the four kids, they have been super afraid of him and he hasn't done nothing to them yet. Marge,
I
you
mean,
saw what happened.
it's levels of fear, and I guess he just wanted it that right temperature. But yeah, man, pour one out for Marge, man.
Yeah.
These are children too, bro.
Children.
These he don't give a damn, this little evil spirit. But
Mm-mm.
My goodness gracious. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that right there, because that was pretty bad, right there. So now we got General Shaw with his homeboy too. They in the office trying to figure out what's going on. And they pulling out the files and see that the natives, be showing up at the fence every other day.
Mhm.
We're gonna come back to that though. Staying on wheel though, man. I think he gonna throw that telescope in the trash. You Seeing it clowns in it, and his daddy seeing red balloons outside twice now. Just a random red balloon, Lamont. They need to move out of Derry, bro.
Thank you.
ASAP, or they need
Thank
to
you.
nuke this mother. You know, would you keep the telescope, or would you sell it to Rose? Like, hey,
Oh, no,
what
I'm keeping that I actually have a pretty powerful telescope myself. No, I'm keeping that bitch. No, you're not getting my telescope. But what we do need to do is, like you said, we need to pack our bags and leave. Make like a tree and leave. He needs to go in there and tell his wife exactly what's going on. And I do appreciate him running straight from, after seeing that, he ran straight to Shaw and he wants some answers. He's like, I got to have some answers. And maybe that was the prelude to him saying, you don't tell me what's going on, I'm leaving. So I do appreciate that about Hanlon.
Yeah. Do you appreciate that he blamed his wife for it? Because going back, she's an activist, like you said, and he don't want her getting arrested. He trying to. I'm so sorry, y'all. He trying to move up in the Air Force ladder. And it's like, hey, babe, you making me look bad. You can't be doing all this black power, rah 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 stuff. And when he's running out there to see what's going on, he was like, "You see what you did? Now people are watching the house." Was he wrong for that or justified?
No, he's wrong. He's wrong. I mean, because before she did that, people was watching the house walking by anyway because there's niggers living in the house. So no, he no justification for fussing her out. You knew your wife is an activist, and you knew she was an activist everywhere you went. And so, with you knowing that, you've got to have the expectation that when she moves in there, you can't take the activism out of her. Now, I
Yeah,
do get that in that era.
the promise.
I was going to say, in that era, though, I do get that you really got to be squeaky clean as Black people to move up. And if you did make that promise in that era, then you should uphold that promise as best you can. But however, he should understand that when you saw that red balloon, that had nothing to do with your wife in the first place. So you should have might have kept your
Good,
temperature on that one.
good point. I like that. I like that. Y'all let us know what y'all think about that too. But as you said, man, Hanlon was like, "This is ridiculous." Shaw,
Yeah.
what's going on? Okay, busting through the door, let a nigga in. And Shaw was like, "All right, all right, all right. We lied to you before. We beat you up. Halloran was a part of it." But he shows him this little interrogation right here, and Halloran gets spit on in the face. Right, like that's just one of the most disrespectful things you can do to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that. I mean, how would you have reacted if he spit on your face like that?
Well, Halloran knows that he has these powers that's going to really torment him. So
Mhm.
I think that that is more revenge than just punching them in the face. And sometimes when people do that to you, B. Avery, it's hard not to just react because spitting on somebody is assault, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about it. That is assault. And
Mhm.
some people's reaction is to just turn around and punch you. Like my grandma said, when people spit on you, they are doing something that is beneath your feet. People spit on the ground, and the ground is beneath your feet. And that's what they think of you when they spit on you. They think you are something beneath their feet, which is why a lot of people turn around and smack the fire out you. But
Yeah.
Halloran knew that he was going to be able to get in this guy's brain and torment him and get information out of him, which for him probably felt more like revenge anyway.
Yeah, man. And about that, Lamont, we got this giant, huge exposition dump that really just did not work for me. I was like, what are they doing? This just seems like extremely lazy storytelling. Hey, yes, recite the whole origin to me because I just want to know if you remember it or not. I mean, that just didn't seem natural. Now, on one sense, it does make sense because Halloran is reading. I think his name is Jacob. I could be wrong. Reading his mind.
Daniel.
Daniel. He's reading. Halloran is reading Daniel's mind, and who's to know how he's gonna, receive or retrieve that info? So they just gave us these visuals. So that's cool. But it just the little boy just reciting it from beginning to end like it's a school assignment. It just seemed kind of ridiculous to me. And we have been getting breadcrumbs of information and story and lore since the beginning, and it just seemed like there was, we can't wait, we can't help it. Here it is all at once. Very informative, man. But I just really wasn't in love with that. Where are you at? Am I tripping?
I loved it, man. I would have loved for them to have done a whole episode about it, but I get that there's probably so much story they want to tell around it that they couldn't do it. I loved it because it gave us a fundamental understanding of how this entity is here, and people can and it gives the story more realism versus just supernatural bull jive. This thing is technically an alien,
Yeah,
and you can believe that something from outer space could drop here and cause crazy things because we don't know everything that's out there. It was almost like the vibranium asteroid hitting the Earth, and instead of it being for good, it was a vibranium asteroid that encapsulated a demon who probably got locked up, got thrown on this sun, and was supposed to be there for eternity, and somehow another lands on Earth and comes out. And the only thing that can hurt him is the fragments of rock surrounding him as if it's kryptonite to Superman. So I enjoyed it. I would have liked to have had a whole story. And I loved how they told how the natives figured out a way to take care of this thing with fragments of that shard, and they warned the damn stupid ass
yeah.
settlers not to go to the woods.
They messed
And
it up, bro.
these good for nothing mofos that don't want to listen to nobody, they want to come here, steal land from the natives, steal land from the queen. You can't tell them nothing. Go in the forest, get their asses ate up, and
Yeah,
then come out crying and try to blame the natives for it. I
yeah,
loved every minute of that, and that is rooted in a whole lot of truth, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
And if we go and invade another planet and it's Americans, don't be surprised if we get some of the same treatment because I don't think we've learned our lesson from the first time the settlers came here and thought they had discovered a new land.
Right on. Well said. I don't know if you noticed this though. When the little boy was telling the story, he said millions of years ago, this entity crashed on Earth. A couple of
Mhm.
episodes ago, I think it was three, maybe two. General Shaw, Francis, was saying that what they was looking for landed 300 years ago.
Right.
Are these the same thing or two different things?
I think they're the same thing.
Okay, who was right? Who's wrong? A million years,
Oh,
and 100 years is a big difference.
Oh, the natives are right. And maybe Shaw is thinking it's 300 years old because he's getting his information from somebody else. And you know how, you tell one person the story and then they go tell everybody else. The story changes 1,000 times. So that's what I believed happened. He just never went to the official source who knows the story, which were the natives and their heritage that are still here.
Yeah, it's also interesting that their sole purpose is to keep this hidden. But General Shaw and his company are gung ho on just digging it up. Just leave Ish alone, man. We got these pillars. Yeah, that's interesting. It was a nice fight. I forgot the native that had all the abilities and the powers that shot the entity in the chest, but I got to give it to the creators as well. They are really doing a nice job with the design of this creature, this entity. I mean, he goes
Mhm.
from small to long to large, then his face changes into some type of demon mouth with fangs, and then another baby comes out the chest, and it's like I was like, what is going on? Like, how do you even think about stuff like this? Um, I mean, did it creep me out? Did it creep you out?
No, nothing really creeps me out because I just don't believe in supernatural or anything like that. But
Mm.
I thought that they did a good job of explaining how this entity can do all the shape shifting. And they explained that this entity, when he figures out whoever he's trying to scare, when he figures out what it is that scares you the most, he takes on that entity of what scares you the most. hence it the clown and kids. A lot of kids are really, really afraid of clowns. So he turns into a clown. The natives at first were afraid of wild moose. So the demon at first was a wild moose, and then as it started gathering power and gathering fear and learning the individual things that scare people, it started to transcend into other entities. So I shout out to the writers, man. Good job on that one, and good job on the scene itself. And this actually looked really, really real. It didn't look as bad as last episode, where some of those graphics and some of that didn't look as good. This time, everything looked good.
This is true. This is true. But Daniel opened the door at the end and was like, through there. And once he said through there, it landed to where a house was. It was all run down, destroyed. I can't ever say that word. That it look. I feel like I should know what's going on. Like that house seemed like it has so much significance to it.
Mhm.
What did you think about that, Lamar? What's going on there?
I have no idea. Like, I mean, I don't know what is the significance of the house, to be honest with you. Maybe that's the house that Ronnie's dad was cheating with the white woman or something. I don't know, but I guess we're gonna find out next episode.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out. It's the pillars. That's that's one. I'm assuming that's what one of the pillars is, and I don't think 10 can be there. But
Mm.
we're going to see. I feel like that house was in one of the movies or something. I could be wrong. I know there's some people right now screaming at the screen on the keyboard. It's this right here. It's pillar number 7, or I don't know. But we're gonna figure it out. I'm having fun, man. But this episode was tough for me. That scene was gruesome with Marge, and I'm just like, geez, Louise. What did I leave out, if anything at all? And do you have any final thoughts, Lamar?
Man, you covered everything. I can just say, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting better. And just hold on to your hard hats and keep coming and checking me and B Avery out because we own it.
Yes, 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 we are on it. And guys, we just want to thank you so much for tuning in to our Welcome to Derry episode 4 recap and review. We really, really do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to both our channels, thumbs up, share the video, and leave a comment. And specifically, like if you're watching this on my channel, subscribe to Lamont's channel. If you're watching this on Lamont's channel, subscribe to my channel. Links to all of that is in the description box below. And also, I have a lot of Tyler Perry movies on my my channel right now. Also, Lamont, did you know? Remember the Montgomery brawl 2 years ago, August 5th,
Yep.
new holiday for us.
Mhm.
There's some gentlemen that came out with a documentary for it.
Word.
Yeah. Now, at the time of this recording, it's not out yet, but by the time this video releases, it would have come out on October 31st.
Mhm.
There may be a video, so be on the lookout for that. If it is, y'all, go to watch the documentary and go check out my review. But guys, we
Right.
want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's Lamont, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.